If you want to be who you got to be, there's times when you got to fight for it. And just tell people, like, this is who I am. I'm a human being and I demand the same rights you have.
One of us or all of us can sort of open the space with space rules and expectations, a description of what the space is, our hopes.
You know, if we could hook it right here behind the banner. I believe in talking about the good aspects of Appalachia, the things that make me proud to be here, and then the stuff that people don't want to talk about, you know, like the rampant racism due to lack of education and due to not learning like about cultures, you know.
Ingenuity.
My name is Oakley Fugate and I'm a filmmaker. I've been producing documentary films, and my side project is I make slasher films. And I have made 5 different documentaries.
You know, I was raised to believe that gay people were essentially rapists, because that's how I was taught. But I started developing a crush. I mean, that's what it was a crush.
I believe filmmaking has a way of telling a story like nothing else can, you know, like, especially a documentary. It allows you to see the human side of somebody.
I had a really good childhood, but I was always a tomboy. God, I suck at interviews.
My name is Whitney Dunn. I'm from Vico, Kentucky, and I am currently a freelance filmmaker. I recently came out. I'm openly lesbian in the community. For Oakley to care enough about my story to document it, I mean, that's stellar in my mind. I never thought that I would ever be in a position to where I was comfortable talking about it on film. Before we started filming the documentary, I was only out to my parents and my brother.
My name is Brian Dunn. I live in Knott County, Kentucky, and I'm a counselor for the troubled youth of the area. She just came straight out and told me, she was like, I've got something I gotta tell you. And she was nervous. And I looked at her and I said, Whitney, you're my sister. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, stuff like that's not gonna make much of a difference for me. You know, you're still gonna be my sister and I'm still gonna love you. You're just gay.
The core value of the safe space is that everyone is loved here. I wanted to do one that like openly states there's a safe space. I feel the safe space is needed here because there are so many people in the LGBT community who are discriminated against. And, you know, it just becomes a thing of, you know, like people being denied basic rights. You know, like I understand people have their own views, people have their own beliefs, but, you know, your views and beliefs end where another person's rights begin.
Oh. I'm Dustin Hall. I'm from Neon, Kentucky, and I'm an artist. The idea of a safe space, I think, is a sort of polarizing thing. However, I like the idea of a safe space because I've lived without a specific safe space geared towards queer people.
Soda pop, soda pop, it's good. I'm hoping to make this a space that people truly feel they can be themselves. You know, come play, you know, play some video games like on a projector. Just come do photo shoots and anything of the sort. And you know, I just thank y'all so much for being here.
Okay, so when you think about Appalachia, the narrative has always been that we are primarily straight and that we are hill people with no shoes and no teeth and we can't speak properly.
I have shoes. I live in a house. I have an education.
To have a safe space here is to help combat that and to give voice to people that don't have voices.
I myself identify as straight, but I feel it's something I relate with because I myself have been discriminated against. A lot of people thought because I had Asperger's that I was nowhere near as intelligent as I am. So, you know, it's something, I understand exactly what people are feeling because I hated this place for the longest time too. When I was diagnosed with Asperger's, it was like a day and night thing. Like, people went from hanging out with me to like actively avoiding me. Asperger's is really, you know, it's on the autism spectrum, and there's like a lot of, you know, like a lot of misinformation being spread around about it. And the whole time I felt like nobody cared. Instead, I was like dehumanized, mocked. People like wouldn't believe me. Like, you know, I was just an Aspie. And, you know, like constantly tell me that I was just wasting my time trying to be a filmmaker, like that there was no future, that I should just be a coal miner like everyone else.
You know, he made movies, I made movies. He's into horror, I'm really into horror. It was just like a friendship was destined to happen.
You know, I met Dustin, who was like the most wonderful human being in existence. When Dustin and I first met, we bonded over like a fascination with Elvira.
I've never looked at Oakley and said, well, I'm queer and you have this diagnosis. Let's, you know, be friends based on that, or let's comfort each other based on that. We became friends, and I was queer at a certain point, and Oakley has always lived with this. And then that was that.
The Doors, you know, we was just like really into these things like we were actually able to, you know, talk to each other about.
Now, you add in the spectacle of having your friend direct the movie, and you're starring in your friend's movie, and it becomes a sort of like family thing, this sort of John Waters thing, this sort of Andy Warhol thing, where you're in a group of friends making movies. Excuse me, the Paul Morrissey thing. Andy Warhol just sort of produced.
Yeah, you know, it's all, you always get to connect with someone that, you know, you're okay with being a bit goofy around, or, you know, being a bit sarcastic around. So yeah, they really helped me feel free to be myself, you know, my really morbid, sarcastic self at times. My friends were there when literally nobody else was. I fight for others, you know, I wouldn't really call it fighting, I'm just being a friend. To anyone who is feeling alone, you're feeling scared, you hate the world, nobody really understands the real you. I've felt those things before, and trust me, if I went back and told 15-year-old me that you just have to keep trying and things would get better, I would have laughed myself silly, and yet here I stand.